You're alive. I'm dead right now. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Here we go. DJ Pam.
I just died. Oh my goodness. And I'm looking at you and you like, what's wrong? Oh my goodness. What a day, what a day, what a day.
It's a great day to be great. Turn that.
Real life crap. We are live. Okay.
Are we live? Did I hit
No, you did not.
that?
You did not. No, that's not good. That's it. That was the button.
All right. I'm the DJ, videographer, all of that going on today. All right. We finally live. Praise God. Hallelujah.
We've been live over here for quite some time now.
Oh, we have? Okay, hold on. Let's see.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to IAO LifePod. The DJ is not doing her job today.
I wanted some extra music. Okay. All right. Listen, I'm trying to. Let's see. Hold on. Fade this out.
That is the absolute
DJ
last time I
Pam
let
in the
you be a
house.
DJ.
Y'all didn't know I used to DJ.
Because I always
back in
say
the day.
there's things that you're good at and things that you suck at. Pam clearly sucks at being a DJ.
Well, babe.
Don't quit your day job, whatever that may be. And don't do that.
I'm just trying to make you smile a little bit more today.
I'm
because
smiling. I'm about smiled out. I done laughed out. I done cried out.
But
So
you keep
I'm
having
just
all
here
these
right
little
now.
challenges.
I am just here. The devil is a lie, I guess, because he is like, he don't want this to happen. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to IAO Life Pod. This is indeed another episode of the realest show ever, unscripted conversation. We're gonna say some things that some people like, a lot of people like, say some things that some people may not like. But guess what? We can't please everybody, and we are most certainly not gonna try.
Right,
So I am here with, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nate McCray. I am the IAO CEO. And this is my amazing co-host, Ms. Pam McCray. She is known as Millionaire Mompreneur. What's up, Pam?
Creative for greatness. Absolutely great morning to everybody out there. I tell you, you know what? I think we need to talk about adversity today, because, and really just fighting through the challenging times because, I can truly say it definitely is another great day to be great. And many times in life, there are always going to be some challenges. There's always going to be some obstacles. There's always going to be some hurdles that you got to go through in order to get to that destination. And I can tell you, definitely have been through some things this morning as I watched my husband try to, not try, but pull things together. But hey, we always make it through. Right?
We always make
so
it
I'm
through.
excited to be here. Another IAO Life Pod on this incredible day. And just know we're even more excited because we are just days away from Project U. And so, guys, if you have not registered, you definitely want to take the time to go to IAOLife.com. Just keep it simple. Go there and register. Join the community as this Saturday, November 20th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have some subject experts that are going to deliver
We have
some
some
incredible
subject matter experts.
right
That word out.
subject matter.
Subject matter experts.
I thought I was doing real good today. Okay.
You thought you were doing real good today?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
Subject experts. Why you couldn't just let me finish my train of thought?
No, that ain't
subject matter, subject expert, same thing, right? Don't you think?
Yeah. Go with that today.
But anyway, gonna deliver some incredible nuggets to take your life, your business. For those of you that may be entrepreneurs out there, maybe you're just thinking about being an entrepreneur. Maybe you just want to be better in life in general. And so from the motivational piece, I'm gonna be bringing that part and hosting this incredible event. We're gonna then bring on the physical aspect, why your health is so important to you being your absolute greatest. We're gonna tie that into the connection, really with you connecting everything together, the mind, the body, the spirit, and branding. And all you do, you got to make sure that you are branding you. What are you doing in order to take your brand to the next level, right? And then our incredible visionary, none other than Mr. IAO himself, is going to be delivering for the first time ever the Win Now formula. And I can tell you, so many lives are going to be changed as a result of this. And it's our first virtual free event. So definitely go out and lock in your spot and grab these nuggets. You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm drained. I'm a little frustrated. I'm quite a few emotions today. Can we keep it one? I'm
keep it 100.
I'm gonna always keep it
1,000. Keep it 100.
You know, but I believe that is a that is a rite of passage. When you're trying to do something different. I'm not the person that's gonna put on airs for people.
Let me give you that healthy mimosa.
So I'm not that person.
This will not be. He probably needs some wine in this drink today.
Straight. We should have just drank some straight wine today. Some champagne.
Matter of fact, Nate was asking for a shot, but we ain't getting that. He's getting some Pellegrino water. All right, healthy mimosas going on right here.
Can't be great right now.
Take that burst.
Can't be great right now. But you know, it's a rite of passage. You know, the failures, the struggles, the grind. Yeah, you're right. It's a rite because I can't get that freaking screen to work, and I don't know why. Baby. That's why it's throwing me
off. All right.
But anyway, I believe it is definitely a rite of passage to get where you got to go, because it's that middle part that's the hardest. It's not the start. It's not the finish. It's the middle, the unknown. Mm-hmm. And, you know, God knows, putting Project U together, pulling the pieces together and putting everything together, man, has been tasking, but fun. Fun at the same time.
I'm glad you're having fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
We get more work done.
Yeah, we'll get more work done. We're having fun because we absolutely love helping other people. And if our life, if our strife, if our pain, you know, can help somebody else actually get through, then, you know, we want to share it. We want to share it. And as always, every day, no matter when we do this show, Maximus is going to snore. Okay. So if you guys hear the faint sound of somebody breathing hard in the background, that's Maximus. All right.
Maximus, come.
Every time we turn his camera on, he snores.
That's what he does.
So
when his eyes are closed.
The pain of everything that we have going on, man. I believe that the pain most certainly brings the gain. We learn from what we do so that we can do it better the next time, and even better the next time after that. And I think, you know, when you ask yourselves that magic question, what's next? Every day you get up and you say, what is next? What's next? What are we going to do next? It is not what's the next venue. It's what challenges are we going to come up we're going to face today? How are we going to, you know, circumvent those challenges? How are we going to climb these mountains, knowing that there are always going to be mountains, no matter what? Right.
Absolutely. I agree with you. And a lot of times I believe that we just have to realize that it's just process and growing through every challenge that we go through, not allowing ourselves to focus on that issue. You know, we got to figure it out, definitely. But realizing, I think that it's all about perspective too. You know, how we look at things truly is how we're going to be able to handle things. And so if we don't focus on that challenge and we don't focus on that adversity, because we have to expect it. It's a part of what we're going to go through in order to get our lives to the next level. So when you expect adversity and you know that it's already going to happen, then you have a different perspective, a different outlook on the end game, because you know that it's a part of the process and ultimately it's going to help you to bring about a form of success. Absolutely. So, and I truly believe nothing happens to you, everything happens for you, right? We believe that and we stand upon that, but also that the adversity is what makes us stronger. If we don't have that, then we could never really fully understand our potential, never understand what we have on the inside of us, never really understand that we have the power to overcome anything, because if God brings us to it, He's definitely going to bring us through it. So we have to see, what are we supposed to be learning in this very moment, and change our perspective at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
I'm supposed to have these on. Sorry.
You can actually
my bad.
You can hear your volume going in and out.
Oh.
So
my bad.
So no, you're good. So so ultimately the adversity that we're facing is, man, it always gets more intense the closer you get to it.
Right.
I got to be honest, I honestly thought, and I'm gonna be transparent, I thought time is flying. Actually, I thought that next weekend was the actual Project Q workshop. That's just how intently, I've been working and not really focusing on time. It's flying by.
Right.
When I was wondering why Pam was asking me for this and we do that, I'm like, why is she on me like this? So she said, I said, we got another week to know is this weekend. And I'm like, right. Oh goodness. So here we are. So here we are, guys, getting ready to kick this thing off. But, ultimately, they're like, it's crazy. So ultimately, when we get to the actual workshop portion of it, things are going to be in order and things are going to be good. But we're faced with these challenges every day, and I guess what I want to talk about today is when you ask yourself, hey, Mr. Maximus.
Okay, because I was looking for something that I could throw.
Maximus.
and not hurt.
Where is he at? Is he up there?
He's right there on the steps.
Oh my goodness, it's getting louder. So when Pam brought up a word that was very interesting, she said perspective, right? And I think that's a powerful word. And let's talk about perspective, because your perspective is your reality,
right?
Essentially, right? So if you feel a certain way about something, that's what it is. You're sold out. But let's talk about how to handle when you find out you're wrong, right? When you find out you're wrong, how do you handle it, right? So I was watching an interview the other day. A young lady did to a gentleman, and it was they were breaking down the different components of how a person interviews someone, but not just that. It's how a person can attack another person during an interview / debate, right? So when you start the interviewer starts to attacking the person, different tactics they use, guiding, leading, and over talking them, trying to make them say what they want them to say. And there was a point in that when the person that was interviewing was backtracking. You can tell that they knew that their whole argument just got blew up. Okay. Right? Just got blew up. And now they're trying to figure out, well, what's next? How can I continue? How can I continue an interview? But how can I make this person look bad, even though I know I'm wrong? Right? Now, in that part, her perspective was, I am absolutely not going to show the world that I'm wrong. I'm not going to show them that. I'm going to continually try and bash this person to basically push them in front of the car. Let them catch that bus, not me. So she kept going and going and going, and the guy said something, and she just didn't have anything else to say. And he said, he just looked at her, but she would not admit that she was wrong, right? And that's what I want to talk about today. How do we actually move forward in life and with the humility, because we always talk about that word, Pam, humility. Now, I'll be the first to admit, and sometimes, and I've gotten a lot better at this, and let's keep it 1,000. Nobody wants to be wrong, right?
Right.
But guess what? We all are at times, right? We're all wrong, probably multiple times throughout the day.
Right.
But when your humility kicks in and you admit that, you know what, I missed that.
Right.
I was wrong for that. And it's key that you actually say those words.
Yeah, that you missed
Right?
it.
That you missed it. My bad. I didn't get that. You're right. It's almost like you physically have to say, you were right and I was wrong.
Right.
Right? Because if you don't do that, you become very evasive in life and you never get the opportunity to benefit from actually learning from your own mistakes. Because you may know deep down that you were wrong,
Right.
right? But you don't let everybody else know that you were wrong, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what does that do? It's a character builder, right? The more I grew, it became increasingly easier for me to say, and that makes more sense. That's what I was saying was wrong, right? And what that does is it opens up the communication dialogue, right? And when that dialogue gets opened up, and the way opens up, and the reason it gets opened up is because the person that you're talking to, the two people in then the reciprocal conversation ends up gaining an immense amount of respect for the person that admitted that they were wrong.
Right.
And conversation is a two-way street. And I go reflect back onto my man Chris Rock when Chris Rock said, everybody keeps talking about, I'm gonna talk like Chris Rock now, right? Everybody keeps talking about relationships are hard, man. Relationships ain't hard. Ain't hard. They're just not hard. He said, they're hard when only one person's working on it. He said, two people can move a couch very easily.
That's true.
One person can barely move that couch. He said, so relationships aren't hard unless only one person's working on it. He said, let me tell y'all something. I'm trying to hip y'all to game. He said, look, your success is her success. Her success is your success. You are in a partnership. Do things together.
Right.
Admit that I missed it. I was wrong.
Right.
Fall on your sword sometime, and don't beat your chest when you know you got the answer. I got that. You didn't know it, but I got it.
Right.
Right?
That's true. And that's a very interesting example and perspective that you put out there, and it's so true. Many times it can be hard to admit when you're wrong, but if you miss it, you're right. You absolutely have to. And sometimes you can be intentional in doing what's right. Like that's your mindset. You set out to do what's right, but you mess up. And it's funny because I had a situation yesterday. I didn't even get a chance to tell you about this. And it's truly all about perspective, and was it right or was it wrong? And so I went to the post office yesterday to mail some product, right? And so I'm in the post office, and I know that the one post office right here, right inside the party store, that it closes at 1:30 for lunch, right? So it's about 1:15, and I'm that person that's going to slide in, right? I'll slide in before lunchtime so I don't have to go to the main post office, right? And I got everything. So I went, and, I'm having to finish up some labels and things like that. And so the lady, at the counter working, at the post office, she says, ma'am, you're the last person. I said, okay, no problem. Right. So then that gives me the responsibility of letting everybody know that come behind me, sorry, she's closed, right? Pretty much. And so, and again, this is my perspective. So a couple people come up and I tell them, hey, it's closed and this and that. But then, but this was after. But the first guy that comes up is an older gentleman. And he walks, he has a cane. And he's literally leaning on the cart. And so I told him, I said, sir, she's closed. I am the last person. And so he's like, oh no. And you could tell that he struggled to get to the back of that store to the post office, right?
Right.
And so he looks up at her and he said, ma'am, can you just take one more? And one more, can I just one more person? And she said, no, I'm closed. And so he looks at me and he said, would you mind taking my package? He said, would you please, ma'am, mind taking my package?
Mhm.
And, I looked at him and I said, sure. And honestly, I was going to pay just to send it off for him, but he hands me a $20 bill and I'm like, don't worry about it. He's like, no, and just simply because he did not want to have to come back. And I can understand it. The man had a cane and you could tell he struggled to get back there just to mail that package.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, he's like, I said, well, I'll get you your receipt, so that he can be able to track the package. And he said, well, I'll just walk around the store. So anyway, the lady obviously caught the whole conversation because he wasn't trying to be sneaky with it. And I wasn't either. I figured, hey, the package all ready to go. Okay, what's one more package in addition to my package? Okay. So I was trying to do good. That's my perspective. But then I had to look at the employee's perspective also. So when I get to the counter, she's not mad at me. She's mad at him. And she's like, because I told her, I said, I want to pay for these. I don't want to do this one separate. She said, I know, because he's trying to be sneaky. And he's standing there and he's like, I'm not trying to be sneaky. And he said, I was nice enough. I mean, she was nice enough when I asked to just take my package. And so it's simply because, I can't come back. It took me a lot to get back here. And so anyway, they go back and forth and I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm sorry, to her, it wasn't my intention to cause confusion. And she ended up apologizing to the man because, she realized that she was wrong as an employee, when it comes down to customer service and how she was going back and forth with this man. But what do you do in a position like that? Because for me, what I did was I automatically looked at this man as if, what would I do if that was my father who struggled to get to the back of the store, with a cane to mail one little package? I would want somebody to help him out. Mm-hmm. And so that was my heart and my intention. But I also had to look at the perspective of the employee and saying, well, if I do it for one person, then everybody that comes through the line, if I keep saying, yes, I'll take you, everybody's going to want it. And, now I never get a lunch break. So, it truly is all about perspective. But I apologized to her, and I told her, I said, I didn't mean to, cause any confusion. I just was trying to help him out. But I do understand your perspective, in that situation. She's like, okay, she didn't have a problem with me or anything, but she did with the man. She felt like he was trying to be sneaky, underhanded, but that wasn't his intent either. So it truly is all about perspective,
Yeah. I mean, perspective is everything,
Yeah.
and it governs and it drives each one of us, every day, because when I listen to you and everybody else out there, when you're listening to what Pam says, we've all developed our own opinion or perspective on the situation. My perspective is, well, it wasn't really your place or responsibility. No way. I'm gonna go back further. It wasn't really your responsibility to tell everybody coming in the door that you were the last person either, right? That you don't work there,
right? Because they looking at me like,
you didn't have to do that. What? You're not getting paid by the post office to be the line monitor, right?
Sorry,
right? I would never put anybody in that situation.
Like, really?
Right? I mean, like, fabricate something that says closed or something, right? So now when they come through the door,
me, right?
Yeah, put it behind.
Like so that's the grocery store, put up the clothes.
Put up the clothes sign, right? So it wasn't your responsibility to tell everybody that, but you did it out of the kindness of your heart. But she apologized in the end because she knew she was wrong. Right. But how do we get past that? We have to learn to assess the situations quicker, right? Well, I got one guy coming in. I can see what is happening. She is actually trying to help him. He's struggling. So I want to be sensitive to that, but this person at the post office couldn't be sensitive to you because they were busy being in their own stuff.
Right.
Right. I want to go to lunch.
Right.
She probably only gets a 30-minute lunch.
1
right?
hour.
She got an hour.
Mhm.
Well, she got an hour lunch, and she wanted to get her whole hour,
She wanted her whole
regardless to what anybody else said. And I respect that, right?
I mean,
But
I
what-
can
what-
respect
what-
it too,
what-
but
what
and,
could,
and again, it's a person's perspective
It is
because
perspective.
and a person's. I would have to say, I hate to say about heart because me, I could not see an elderly person struggle to come in to do something and me say, "I'm sorry, I'm closed."
Right.
I just couldn't do it. That's just me. So, and that's the
Mhm.
reason why my heart went out to him, in order to help him to get that package mailed. But to each his own. It truly is about how somebody feels, their perspective, and how they're going to react. But there's nothing you can do about it.
Mhm.
For real.
So we're talking about perspective
Hold on,
today.
at the Maximus.
We're talking about perspective. We're talking about what's next, how things actually affect you every day when you wake up, and how you actually handle them. Because it's a relevant statement when people say birds of a feather flock together, right? It's essentially people with the same perspective in life, right? If you think, poor fella, if you think that a certain thing is not right or wrong, typically you're going to hang with people that feel the same way that you do,
Mhm.
right? Because relationships are choice.
Right.
So your perspective in life when you're trying to do certain things is, I think, should be gauged by certain criteria, right? So the first is, when anything happens, what happens if I do this, and what happens if I don't
Mhm.
do it?
Mhm.
And when you start weighing those two costs, if I do this, this could happen. If I don't do it, this could happen. Then you make a decision based on that. So your perspective is always relevant, and your perspective never has to really agree with anyone else's perspective. That's why they call it perspective, right? So what I've gotten out of the habit of doing, Pam, was trying to change a person's perspective, right? Because all I can do is tell you what my perspective is.
Right.
Right. A part of emotional intelligence is not to try and change people, is to allow people to change themselves.
Absolutely.
Right. So once you give them not only your truth, but the truth as you see it, right? This is my truth. This is what I feel. This is what I like. I feel that, Pam may say, well, let Maximus snore through the whole thing. That's fine. That's her perspective, right? And I can say, well, I don't like Maximus snoring through this entire freaking broadcast, right? I want Maximus to stop. And so now we're at an impasse. So now we have to make a decision on what's best. So either I'm just using this as an example too, because we both, it's a clear consensus that we don't want Maximus snoring through our broadcast. So now we're at an impasse. How do we handle that impasse?
Right.
Right? Somebody's going to have to give. Somebody's going to have to yield. Somebody's going to have to humble themselves and say, I'm going to deal with it. Because if I argue with her, she may be like, well, shoot, you didn't have to do that. If she argues with me, I'd be like, well, I didn't want him. It's a burden. Right.
Yeah.
So perspective is
got to give,
everything.
or
Somebody's got to give, or
disconnect and
somebody's
find a
got to
different
disconnect
situation.
and find another
Yeah,
situation.
absolutely.
Because that's perspective. And when you're dealing with people, it is important that you find the right people with the right perspective. And it's one thing that Pam and I always say, and it is so synonymous in the business that we had the most success in, right? It's so synonymous because it's a people business, right? It's a people business. But it's not so much as a people business from a corporate perspective. It's an individual business. You get a lot of people that have individual stake in the game that want to grow to a certain level to get a certain thing. So when you look at people and a person is who they are, and they're growing every day, and all of a sudden they say, well, I don't think that this is a good fit for me anymore, right? So me, with my mind, I'm going to start saying, well, what changed? What changed? Take a job, for instance. If the job is no longer a good fit for you, then something changed.
Right.
Because it was a good fit. But what changed? Did it change or did you change?
Right.
In any event, it's not a good fit. Now let's take the people business.
Okay.
Because this is close to home.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in a people business and people, Pam and I promote growth, personal growth quite heavily, right? So as you're growing and this stays the same and you're not changing, right, to get better, then you tell this is what we start to do. This is what we start to do. Then we lie to ourselves. Say it was that and not me, right? So I hear that all the time, and you can apply this to anything.
That's
right?
true.
You can apply this to anything. What changed? What is different from the first time? Is it you or is it it? And if it's not it, it's you. And Pam's famous words, she said, you know what? You take you everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
So if you were you here and it's the same thing, then you're going to be who you are there.
Right.
Right. And you're going to be that person that eventually says this don't fit either because you never grew.
Right. That's true. Growth is very important in anything that you do in life. If you're not growing, then you're not even remaining the same. You're dying.
Okay. But your perspective kills you. Your perspective kills you.
Yeah.
Your perspective hinders you because you take that same perspective from place to place.
From place to place to place. And that's the reason why, I mean, I think we lived that, for real, for like 20 years in trying to find the perfect opportunity, right? We took us from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, right? We failed from opportunity to opportunity to opportunity to opportunity, right? And so it wasn't until we changed our perspective and we grew and we worked on us and we realized that everything flowed from the mind on down, okay? That would drive the energy, the passion, the success, being able to handle the failures, the challenges, the obstacles, all of that good stuff, right? It wasn't until we realized that and for real dug in and worked on us and realized that it wasn't nobody else.
It wasn't it.
It wasn't it.
It was us.
It wasn't nobody else, right? It was us. But it's unfortunate that when it comes time to, different things, and sometimes I don't know if we ever really thought that it was the I don't think we ever really thought it was the opportunity or the people that we were connected to, because we saw the success, right? I just think that because of the fact that we didn't grow, we lost our perspective on the reason why we said yes, and so then we lost our passion, for it because we didn't grow in that whole process.
Yeah. And there are factors.
Yeah.
There are factors that you dial in. Sometimes, it was a combination, but for the most part, it was us. The lack of the right perspective to say, you know what, if this isn't changing, this is what this is. I liked it in the beginning and only got better. Then, it's me. I have to fix the thing that's broken.
Right.
I can't throw the whole, you can't, as they say, you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? You have to fix what's broken because you'll take the broken to wherever you go.
Right.
And not only wherever you go, the broken will be in every situation. Your perspective will remain skewed because you're not working on you. You're not changing the way you think about things, right? So when you change the way you think about the things that you're doing every day and you look at it from a perspective of production, how is this going to affect me and the people around me? Right. Now, notice, I always say me first because it is all about you first.
Right.
How does this affect you? If it affects you so adversely or negatively to where it stops you from moving forward or growing, then don't do it.
Right.
It's not, you figure out something to do that is going to help you continually grow, because God only gives us, my dad said, God only gives us so many good, vibrant, productive years. right? So you have to take advantage of those years, as my man, ET says, you have to take advantage of an opportunity in the lifetime of that opportunity, right? So you can't squander the time. Yeah, this time is precious. I woke up at 50 and I was mad. I was downright pissed off at myself,
mad.
right? I was pissed.
You better be excited for another year.
I was like, I was pissed. It was like, you should be happy to be here for 50. I'm like, no, because I felt like I was behind. I felt as if I didn't do everything that I should have done for the first freaking half a century of my life. I didn't do what I should have did. So I was mad at myself. So being MAD made me make a decision to start putting the things in place that I need to put in place. I changed my perspective. And me being mad at me squandering half a century, right? And now I'm in the second half of my life. I have to do something. There's some of you out there right now.
That's good.
That are in the second half of your life. There's some of you that are in the first quarter of your life, and you've lost your fire. You've lost your zeal because you had it. There was a point in your life when you had it. You felt invincible. You felt like there was nothing you couldn't do. Mom and dad and them told you can be a fireman, police officer, a lawyer. You can be a doctor, a dentist. You can be whatever you want it to be.
Right.
And you believed it. But at some point in time, you stopped.
Right. And you know what? It's funny you say that. I just want to, and not to interrupt.
That's good. Yeah.
But you know how you see memories, right? Well, I don't see many memories because I lost my Facebook page, but I see from a year ago, right? And it's funny you say that because a year ago today, I posted this picture of me and Jace, right? I don't know if y'all can see me in my where's the camera? Where's the camera? And my grandbaby, right? And he's Spider-Man. And I said, come to Gigi, Jace. And Jace said, I'm not Jace, I'm Spider-Man. Right? And I said, okay. And I'm laughing. And then I said, all in a day's work, entrepreneurs wear many different hats. What superhero are you? What exceptional powers do you have, and are you using them? As children, we believed we could be anything. Then we grew up. If it was there as a child, that means it's still there. Believe that power is still within. That's 1 year ago today. What you being on that?
No, that's good, and that's dead on. That's spot on because it was there, And I think a lot of people get to a point to where they don't feel as if they can rekindle or find that power. It's buried between so many, underneath so many different layers of life. I call it. There's some other words I could call it, but I'm going to call it life. It's a lot of layers of life in there, right? So we have to figure out how to dig that thing out. So, and speaking of how to dig it out, that's exactly why the Project U workshop was created. To help you dig that stuff out, to help you find what was lost, to help you recover that power and move you to the next level. If you have not registered for it, then go to IAOprojectu.com, right?
They can do that. That'll work.
Give them the one that will
work. No, that works. IAOprojectu.com. It'll take them to the same place as IAOLife.com. So
cool. And get registered, right? So while I'm giving you guys this last spiel, Pam is going to pull up some music because she is the DJ today. See, I was trying to hit her leg underneath, but she didn't get the memo.
Oh no.
So guys, go to IAOprojectu.com and go ahead and get registered for the workshop. It is an all free workshop, right? You don't have to. All you have to do is register for it. And 24 to 48 hours before the event, you will actually get a link to actually chime into it and to be a part. It's going to be about a 2-hour event. Okay. There are going to be 5 different subject matter experts that are going to come on, and they're going to connect all of the dots for you and help you recover the things and give you the skills or give you the mindset and give you the actual knowledge and the wisdom that they have in the spiritual connection, the physical connection, the motivation and inspiration, the branding aspect of how you brand you. How do you actually start your business? What are the things that you should do? It's going to bring you up to the 21st century to figure out how you can actually build your brand, your business in this day's landscape, right? In this real time digital atmosphere that we are in right now. And at the end of it, we're going to connect all of those dots together with the Win Now formula and show you guys how to leave that workshop with something that you can actually grab onto and build and get that recover that lost power that you had before. All right.
Absolutely. So get excited. Go get registered. Not now, but right now. Y'all heard it. IAOProjectU.com. And we will see you all there. But in the between time, we'll be back. All right. Stay tuned for another IAO Life Pod. This takes place every Tuesday and Thursday at 10 a.m. typically, Pacific Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If not, just look for us, right? But thank you all for tuning in. We love you guys. Be blessed. Have an amazing day. Let's see what we got over here. DJ Pam on the mic.
DJ Pam should have had that music coming in already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So,
hey.
You know. All right, y'all.
See y'all later.
We'll see you guys. Remember, we'll see you guys again on Thursday, right? We got something good to talk about Thursday for sure. All right. It's gonna be a barn burner, as they say. So make sure you're a part. And I will see you guys right here back live on IAO LifePod. All right.
See y'all later.